Oh no, I dead named AM. Thank God I didn't start recording it.
Man.
But now I am, and we're back in the attic. Tommy Signs River Warlord AM coming back at you for another. We gotta have a funny thing that we call episodes.
That's alias phobic. Another. You ever listen to that song Joe Berg by Lord Byron?
You probably played it at some point.
Yeah, I was say it's on the We Kill Cowboys album, so you should listen to that. But like, he's like, another constellation. I asked him. He said, I actually asked him. He said yes. He was like, he was cool.
What did you ask him?
Like years ago.
Really? Oh shit.
Yeah. Back then
when he wasn't popping.
He still had a good buzz in Texas at the time. I would say. No. He still worked with quite a few people. The label was one of those labels that was indie, but very, very strong, very robust where they were at.
Oh, like a TDE, like in the beginning.
I don't like to say TDE. Generally speaking, there's one label, Rhymesayer. There's one label in particular, like Rhymesayers Entertainment. You know what I'm saying? Like some of those guys that just been around for 15 years. Camp solid,
a group of lifers.
Yeah,
group of lifers.
But enough about us, man.
Enough about us.
MarkTheKeep. God is working. I was at
MarkTheKeep.
What is going on?
I was at the listening party tonight. God is indeed working.
Amen, man.
A lot of amazing sounds out there, man. Tell me how you feel. Are you still on cloud nine?
Yeah, because I wasn't there. I watched it on a few stories. You know what I mean? I got good angles on it, but what was it like there? I've been meaning to go over there, bro.
Man, the feel of it. Only Vibes. Shout out to them for real. Like
they're doing their thing.
They're doing their thing. Jeremiah knows how to run the game, man. He's really good at just coordinating with a lot of different artists. Man, I feel good. Ultimately, man, it's still a good energy. I'm still carrying it through because like it was such positive vibes. We also had the jollof rice, which was amazing. You know what I'm saying?
The jollof rice.
AM told me about that part, and that like made me want to like. I was like, damn, I should have went.
It's a whole different conversation, man.
That's the thing. I already had 2 plates. I wasn't finna be like, hey man, let me take a 3rd plate home for my mans, and since I'm taking plates home, let me take a 4th plate home for me. That's because when I take that 4th plate, the plates was small. I'm gonna be like, man, come on, you know what I'm saying? This ain't finna do nothing for no. Now I'm out with now I'm 5 plates in. Now I'm deep.
I didn't eat yesterday much, so I got some chicken and waffles today, bro.
5 plates deep in anywhere, you should be washing dishes. No matter where you at, if you eat 5 plates anywhere, you should have to wash them dishes.
I would agree.
It depends. It depends. I got it.
Yeah.
But how'd you get linked up with like Only Vibes and shit? And hold on, before that too, it's like Only Vibes and Wave Watchers. Yes, because I have questions about Wave Watchers too.
Oh, I got answers for Wave Watchers. That's man. We can get into that. But Only Vibes for sure. The way I linked up with them, I actually went to an event there, like low key, and I was like, this is kind of tough. The way he orchestrated everything, and I was like, reached out to him, yo, I'm trying to perform, and he was like, yo, just give me a date, give me a time, let's work. So I gave him a date, gave him a time, and we set it up, and I did a whole bunch of I did like 4 tracks, like spoken word, and then I didn't like how it sounded, so I asked him, I was like, yo, can I come back again for the 2nd time? And he was like, yeah, just come back. And I came back again, we did it again, and I was like, all right, this is nice. And then he was like, yo, if you ever want to do a listening party here, let me know. And I was like, well, I'm coming out with an album in like 2 months, so let me let's just chop it up real quick.
Get locked in and ahead of time.
Exactly, man.
And turn that one around, because I got this one on Mark.
All right. Yeah. He did a good job of just like coordinating everything. He's a mastermind for sure. And
yeah, because I've been following him for a little while, and like what I've seen from him is just like he's mad organized. You know what I'm saying? Like he kind of figured out the formula like kind of quick, because like it was just like I would see the joints at like, is it his house?
It's basically his house, man. It's just his room.
So it's like, dude, yeah.
No, I was gonna say to live in that creative space must be amazing. So.
Amazing.
It's weird, because like I got a small taste of it with the pod, and like just like, cause I stayed most of the time in the basement when we were.
But the basement always looked like that. That's the thing.
Oh,
we didn't do anything to the original set. We literally just put this down there and then started pod. The room already looked like that. He designed that room over years. So I knew this man.
It's funny. Design is such a. It's a compliment always, because it's like, this was where I could put this right now, because there's already shit everywhere.
Amen.
And that's how it flows. I mean, even that room creatively is like so much going on. Like,
yeah, it looks like it.
From one side to one side, it's just inked up. So like the vibe of it just creates that energy.
Damn, we gotta get the vibe jar.
Man, he's amazing, man. He's awesome. So yeah, we set it up. I was like, yo, I'm gonna have like 20, 30 people out. I just try to keep it as intimate as possible. You know what I'm saying? Not too.
So you weren't aiming
crazy.
for to pack out capacity.
Not even close.
Because it didn't seem like that was the that wasn't the. I don't want to say the word that I got.
Say it. Say it.
It wasn't the intention that I felt you were trying to convey.
Not even close. The people who came were only people who I personally invited or who reached out to me on a certain extent, and I really wanted it to be for people who've been listening.
That's a good amount of pull. Because how long you been doing it?
I've been making music for. I've been coming out past like 2.5 years now.
2.5.
Like, this
that's
is like my
30
second.
people. Like you can just hit up. That's pretty good for 2 years, man.
Bruh, and this is just in this area. Like if I was in Philly, that's a whole different conversation. If I was in on the West Side, that's a whole different conversation. Because there's groups of people who are just like obviously can't just fly out. You know what I'm saying?
Not yet.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
And that's the process. I feel like working with the people who really enjoy me now, listen to music now, the music's just gonna get better.
Yeah.
That's inevitable. That's not gonna change. But in terms of the people who are tuned in now, those are the people who I care about the most.
Definitely.
Because they always are gonna invest in me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly. Because like the first core group of people that like fuck with you are like it's like your first kid. You know what I mean? Like you like all your kids the same and love them all the same, but that first one,
it's different.
yeah, you were the fresh batch. You know what I mean? So you mean a little bit more to me.
People that consume our projects remind us of human beings that we made.
Basically,
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
That
I
analogy
agree.
is almost. I'm gonna write that down in my journal tonight. I'll be honest with you. My children.
Yeah, exactly.
I call
It's a
them my
step.
children.
It's a step above calling your like dog your child. You know what I'm saying? Because that's annoying. But like, yeah, like your creative things, because that inspires people. You know what I mean?
You don't cringe a little bit when you hear that.
Dog a child.
A little bit. I love dogs. I love dogs. But the whole dog mom. Yeah. Anyway.
Some people let their dogs and sleep in their beds with them, man.
That's crazy.
That's a whole other conversation, man.
Like,
I got a dog.
like plagues have started that way. Like, you know.
It's one of those things. Like when I get a dog at some point, you know what I mean? It's gonna be half like raising it like he lives on a farm and half just like, oh no, it's like an animal. You know what I'm saying? You know you got boundaries with your dog. Don't hop on the couch. You know what I mean?
It sounds like you're
not a
saying
couch
like
dog.
you can't be on the couch, but like you're allowed to kill.
You're allowed to be inside, and yes, you're allowed to. Don't bring it to the step and not inside. You know what I mean? Because that's a sign of affection.
Yeah.
Or is that just cats?
I would say for cats and dogs.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, 'cause any domesticated animal you have, if they bring you their kill, you got a special place in their heart.
That does include your children.
Definitely.
By the way.
Exactly.
I hope my children don't kill though. That's a whole different conversation.
Dude, that just reminds me of this. Like, have you seen like the Conan Barbarian, like the newer one with Jason Momoa?
I've never seen any of them.
They're okay, but like there's this one scene where he's a kid and they're like doing this like rite of passage manhood thing or whatever, where he's got to like do basically an obstacle course, run around like the fucking jungle and shit with an egg in their mouth, and they can't crack the egg and shit. So.
Wait.
Is it hard boiled?
It's like that's the thing. If it cracks in your mouth, you're just gonna be blown. You know what I'm saying? That walk home's gonna be, you're gonna be upset. You know what I'm saying? Just picking shells out your mouth. It's gonna be terrible. But yeah, so I guess Conan was young and shit, but he was like the chief's son, so he was able to do like manhood rituals early. So like he did it with them niggas, and you know they're like 13, 14. He's like 8, so they're just like they dusted him immediately, bro. So this nigga's running the joint. He gets lost. Comes upon some like cannibals, you know what I'm saying? So this is some unsavory folk, you know what I mean? There's natives or whatever, you know what I mean? People not in their tribe. And they're just like, oh, cool. That's small and meat and let's kill it. You know what I mean? So they pull up on him with some like spears. It's like, all right, bet. Make peace with your God. Bro, the next scene is all the village people like kind of just like worried about like, oh, where's the chief's son? Where's the chief's son and shit? And bro, this nigga comes back 3 heads in his hand, bro. You know what I'm saying? And throws them to his dad's feet and then spits out the egg. You know what I'm saying? That's the son I'm raising.
You got hold them balls like that.
Yeah, that's the son I would like to raise if I ever decide to have children, which is unlikely.
Why you say that?
No. I'm gonna compare it to dogs. Like it's other people's are great. You know what I mean? Like,
He's gonna do it.
No, at some point, that's the thing. It's not a never thing, but like I have to be like stupid stable. Like I got like the income has to be crazy.
Yeah.
Because like he has to have the best. You know what I mean?
24, right? 24, right?
23.
I respect that.
So it's just gonna be by the
that.
time if you stay with time, you're like 28. You know, in
28. Nah, I'm gonna be an old dad.
I'm talking about in the totality sense. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about in the totality sense. The paper's coming. But,
I mean, yeah, but like, yeah, I'm gonna be like an old dad. You know what I mean? Like you get 5 good years of catch. You know what I mean?
What's that comedian? He does like for my next guest.
Get a little look at the mic a little bit closer. You can just pull it closer.
David Letterman. He's like, I mean, he had his first kid at like what 45 or something like that.
Yeah, that sounds good because he was like he was breaded forever at that point.
Like, hey, I'm David Letterman. Yeah, and I'm gonna be your dad.
Exactly. For my next guest, my kid.
You know, it never see like you ever see that shit like what's up like a celebrity like an old ass celebrity parent. It always seems like someone assigned them the kid.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Nah, it's great because it's just like like you're good. You know what I'm saying? Like you can fuck up and you got a cushion the size of a mountain, so it's fine. But
yeah, but you know.
But don't. I'm gonna raise you right.
Not much catch play in there though.
Yeah, exactly.
Not much catch play in the Letterman household. I
not even close. Imagine. I don't think. I feel like he switches like. He's like joking, and then he's like, "No, this is what's going on."
I'm dead serious.
What made you?
Oh yeah, back to the interview.
I was like, wait. I was like, didn't we come here for something?
The purpose.
Nah, it's all a part of it, man. But
yeah, if your interview is like just the interview questions, you're bad at doing it.
Not even close, man. I'm trying to eat the what?
Shit,
I'm trying to talk about anything you want to talk about.
We got these new cameras now, boy. 6 hours of battery life. You feel me? I'm gonna use every minute of them.
61 hours of audio.
I'm finna cut this off and stare at this motherfucker. Anyway.
There's a video like that. It's like a famous. No, real quick. But like, yeah, this dude's like doing a Twitch stream and like, or not a Twitch stream, but like a YouTube video, and like that's his whole page. He just like sits and looks weird and shit. And like one of them shines like someone like broke into his house and he like sat there. He continued to sit there. Like he didn't break character, and like you could just see the terror on his face. He's like, he just goes from like smiling like he usually does, just like. And then, bro, like you see the whole robbery. It's funny as shit. It's so funny, bro. It's so funny because you're just like. Because it's one of those things where it's like, well, look at you. What are you gonna do if you react and get up? You know what I'm saying? Like you're gonna do just as much as if you just sit here. Let them take the TV.
AKA, it's not nice and I live up to my name.
You know.
But what made you choose a date 2 weeks out from the album to let people listen to it?
That's a good question, man. I don't know.
Yeah, because it's usually like a day or like the week of type thing. Yeah.
I personally I wanted it to be on a Sunday just because of the concept of the album itself.
Yeah.
I knew that I wanted it to be at a certain time. I had the Only Vibes, like I had that listening party. Shout out Only Vibes. I had a listening party set up like before I even had a date for the album.
Wow.
Oh, word.
I'll be honest with you. Like I didn't know when I wanted to drop it. I know I wanted to have people experience it, and I burnt like 100 CDs like 2 months ago.
Oh yeah. We didn't get that on the video yet, but he brought us fucking physicals, bro. You're not doing much if your marketing game isn't at least this level, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, do something. You know what I mean?
God's
like
playing. You feel me,
bro? And like stuff like this, it just makes me happy. It makes me want to listen to, even if it's like whatever. You know what I'm saying?
This is the thing.
Because I see like niggas like post they're like printer paper fucking posters like on like, you know what I'm saying, like joints at the gas station and shit, like the little poles and shit. Man. I was like, I'm good to listen to this album. This looks retarded, but
I'll say this though.
Physicals.
The best way to get my attention on the random, if you were just like we had no contact, we had no people between us, would be put your shit like in somebody's very nice bathroom that be holding events. I genuinely look at those things.
You know, it's
if
funny.
you write your name on the wall, I'm gonna completely ignore it.
You know who did that? Eminem.
Yeah,
he made the what's it called, James? You know, like the weird fucking things in like restaurant toilets and shit. Like the
seat covers,
the rubber thing, then like urinals,
urinal cakes.
Yeah, but like they're not the thing that make it smell. Yeah. Like whatever the fuck that's there for. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But like, yeah, he made that like one of his albums and like, yeah. So that was cool.
That's actually pretty smart.
Man, he really wanted to succeed.
Right. Yeah, because no one at the label did that. He was like, "Hey guys, I think this would be funny." And there's like
not funny. I don't know if funny was what he was going for.
I think it's funny.
That man's hands must be just like clammy to this day. Disgusting. But hey,
dirty word.
You do a couple $100 million.
Whatever it takes.
What are you gonna do?
I like most of his albums. It's just recently that he's lame.
Yeah, man.
But you can't be cool forever. I guess
this limits to the shady, man. You rise and fall. You can't be hot forever, man.
Yeah, bro.
It's only a few artists.
Yeah, exactly, bro. And you just gotta keep like doing like Bowie or just being like a guy like I don't know. Like a Tom Waits, you know what I'm saying? Like just either you change constantly or not at all. You know what I mean? But he kind of just changed a little bit, started being like political and woke. I'm just like this. You were famous for the opposite reason. you had to do a concert with Elton John to prove to people you weren't a homophobe.
Speaking of which, turn like a track on at a very low level if you don't mind.
Okay.
Which track we talking about?
I'm just gonna probably just hit on your Spotify and
just go on some tracks.
I thought you were about to play some Slim Shady. I was like, hold on.
We don't want to get sued.
Whose hat is that? I'm curious. The hat.
Oh, that's the Stu Koofy.
Bro, that joint is
It's just how we do things.
Like, you're more than welcome.
The cloth, man. I might put it on just for the night.
we generally save it for like when we hit our you know what I'm saying? Like, hey, brother moments. You know what I mean? But, yeah.
Tell you something. Let me tell you something.
Let me show you right, man.
Let me tell you something. I'm proud. Literally, let me tell you something. I am probably that nigga boy.
Bro, it's funny because I was
talking. You been eating your veggies, cuz?
Oh, man.
I already know this man has.
Yeah, because I was talking to Kilo like all like, the other day, that's all night and shit. Like, and I remember I brought it because we were just talking about like, you know what I mean? Well, the problem is with the black, you know what I'm saying? Like shit like that. This is what we need to do.
Oh man.
I think I got my point across.
I think we did.
Oh yeah, you would have loved it. If you knew we were gonna be there talking about that, you would have stayed.
I have a quick question for you guys. How often I would say would you guys recommend doing these interviews, or how often do you do it compared to how often do you like really want to do it? Like, do you do it like when you guys have an artist planned out, or do you guys do it when you guys really want to do an interview?
It's more in a transitional period right now, just because like we're gonna change up the way we do it, like just like come next year and shit, like come like 2022, just because like we have better and more efficient equipment and shit like that.
What's it called? What's that word? It starts with R. It's called revising, not re.
Oh, like revamping.
Nah, this another word for it. It's like
rejuvenation.
Nah, it's a
rebrand.
This is rebranding.
Rebranding, yeah. Basically, it's more just an update.
Because like at first it was literally like, all right, we have no cameras, or we barely ever have cameras.
We had $50 cameras.
You know what I'm saying? Like
and we got $50 worth of them.
You know what I'm saying? We have no cameras, or we have very shitty cameras. This is the best piece of equipment that we own, bar none.
Yeah, we got this like at the beginning and just like wrapped like cardboard around like the rest of it. We have a really good engine and a really shitty car at that point. You know what I mean?
That's all about what's inside, right?
But that's what we were posting so often at first, because it was just like, yeah, there's nothing to. It's just the only thing we have to offer you is the sound right now.
Mm-hmm.
If we were still just doing audio, like we would probably just drop like 4 times a week. You know what I'm saying? Like, because we did that for like a good month span. We were doing this. Yeah.
Well, I wasn't living there at the time, but like, I would pull up, we would just go downstairs, and then 2 hours later, you know what I'm saying? All right, bet here, guys, and people started. I guess we made a few folks laugh. And it was like, hey, I like music, Tommy. Don't you?
Like it was.
Doesn't that one guy make music?
Yeah, because it was even at that time like we.
Hey, Shanko, get over here, nerd. And then
basically it was just because of like Davion. That's the reason why like I just started. You know what I'm saying? Get to know everybody and shit. So like shouts out Davion, because
I haven't seen Davion in so long, man. He's a good brother, man. I wish he could be here for this, but I know he's doing his thing in Atlanta, man.
Oh yeah, he belongs in the South. You know what I'm saying? Like he belongs everywhere. He's a worldly guy, but like he's a Southern guy. You know what I mean? That's where he's most comfortable.
At his core, but at the same time, like that dude's a man of the spirit. Y'all would connect. He's not.
My boy Davion Titan. He makes music. He hasn't dropped in a while, but he makes music and shit. Yeah, really? Yeah, definitely. He's the man.
He's more of a he's not explicitly Christian. He's more of like an overall spiritual guy. But you struck me as a type of Christian who's like, okay, I just connect with spiritual people on a general sense.
1000%.
Yeah, I kind of got that from you.
Man, what? I don't know if it's a gift. I don't know what you call it, but you can feel somebody's energy by the first 30 seconds of you being around somebody.
Oh yeah.
Whatever their intentions are, whatever it may be, whatever they're trying to hide, whatever it may be, you can feel it. You know what I mean? And I remember like even Weight Watchers too. Shout out Weight Watchers. When you guys were even at the show, I remember talking with you guys and you were like, hey, you see that man? I see that man. I see it.
I still got the joint.
Yeah, once I get like one of these, it's like it has to break for me to get it off. Because like I like things on my wrist.
These don't come off.
I have like
I'm still looking for somebody. My last joint broke. I ain't got nothing, man.
Bro, this joint, like it used to have like this was Davion's. It used to have like a little like wooden fish on it and shit. It's like I had this on for 4 years. I haven't taken it off.
My palms are starting to itch, man. Somebody sell me something, man.
Like shit, yeah.
Somebody sell me. I love these fucking cameras, man. Somebody sell me something.
Hey, man, I'm trying to hear you.
Man, let's put that on the shirt. Somebody sell me something. I'm sorry.
No, you good. I was
back to where we at.
It was when we talked. You guys were like, hey, like you guys even asked me then, like, hey, like,
yeah, we met you at the show, yeah,
and I was like, hold on, like, this is like when somebody says something in their purest form and like truly has good intentions of it.
Oh, yeah.
Something will come about it. Who knows what the time is? Who knows what the time frame may be? But like, I feel like if everybody enjoys what they're doing, might as well just do it together. You know
exactly. It's one of those things where we're just like, because a lot of people just hit us up for like, you know, come on and want to do like an interview or like just a podcast in general, and it's like, you know, sometimes the timing is wrong or whatever, but like the interest is always still there, and we always like get it done at some point.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So like, I agree with that.
You can't put a time frame on creativity.
Yeah.
If you put a time frame on creativity, I can't, like, even when I'm working with other artists, I'm like, oh, I'm still figuring out. You can't put a time limit on it. I can't say like, I need this verse by this time.
You start to make factory music at that point. Man.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
McDonald's ass music.
If that's what you're going for, you know what I'm saying? So be it. But
yeah, if that's your mode, like you have a formula for making music, which is fun. That's the thing. Like I've come to like think that's fine. I don't like that.
Yeah, that's
you know what I'm saying?
That's the thing. At a certain point, like I was gonna come back to the to like the whole group thing after effect. But like I remember we had that conversation about Travis Scott. It was like, all right, we literally followed this guy from like 2011. Al Farrow.
Get closer.
Yeah, we followed dude from 2011. Al Farrow. We was there, heard that, then heard
Rodeo.
Not even Rodeo.
Days before.
Before that, the ad lib or the vocals on.
The Meek Mill track with he was on Dream Chasers too. With Meek Mill, bro.
See, I wasn't even thinking about that. I was thinking about
you hear right? Yeah, bro. I heard that verse and I was like, who is this guy?
I'm talking about the Magna Carta song Crown. Shit on me, these niggas. That's Travis Scott,
bro.
You know what I'm saying?
I didn't know that.
Followed him all the way to the timeout, and we were like, all right. I was like,
till his mass murder event.
I think, till his blood sacrifice.
Till his Jamestown massacre.
Ooh, spooky. Ooh.
Oh my gosh, man!
I'm gonna steal your soul with my auto tune.
Bro,
oh my god,
man! What that
all your souls belong to us.
Yeah, it's one of those things too.
And you paid $100. Your deposit back, pussy.
It was dressed up so insidiously, and it was like, oh my god, this is horrible. It's like the history of this like concerts and festivals and shit like that. Like, yeah, that happens.
Yeah,
at the same time,
maybe not like as many or whatever. That might have just been an unlucky day, but like. Yeah. And they probably could have done a little bit more or whatever, but like, yeah, like if you go back and look at like big festivals, like, yeah, there's a body count, my nigga, like, you know what I'm saying?
Straight up.
At the same time, the occult symbolism is weird, but I say that to say like, with Travis, at a certain point, it was like, all right, Birds in the Trap was the last time he was hungry, and at a certain point, you choose the music, and you can only go so far with your paper. You can only go so far with your paper through them. That just means you have to find ways to make your money over here.
Yeah. By
yourself, by your own, or you take the paper and you can't, you know what I'm saying? There's certain things with your music. It's like, hey, we're on a timeline, we're on a deadline, we're on a crunch here. Forget about it. Don't worry about it. We'll fix it in post. Type of thing.
It constrains the creativity and the content that can potentially be developed.
That's why we're like, all right, we're here to see what we can do about people being true to themselves artistically and making a living.
Yeah, exactly.
Or having a second source of income, which is what you need to become a millionaire.
Yeah, because it's funny.
More than two, actually.
Or maybe 5.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Yeah, because I feel like back to like the original thing, like constraining the creativity with like time, like when there, I think people have kind of like adopted like. Younger artists usually pick up like really bad habits from like their favorite cat. You know what I'm saying? Like I like when that Jay-Z interview dropped, he said like he doesn't write anything down. Niggas stopped writing because they thought they wanted to, because they thought they were Jay-Z and they wanted to be like that. You know what I'm saying? He writes it. He writes it down. But like, let's be honest. And like I also think like they also picked up the habit. It's like, oh well, if I'm not dropping all the time, like I'm gonna be not as successful. I'm not gonna be whatever. You know what I mean? But you lose a lot of creative, because when you force yourself to do it, like there's some merit to it, because like if you want to be like professional and this is your job and shit, sometimes you gotta do it when you don't feel like it. But also at the same time, it's just like, oh, bro, like you're gonna put out some shit if you rush this joint. If it's not coming out of you, you know what I'm saying? It's gonna be it's gonna be iffy.
Bro,
you know what I'm saying?
Man, I dropped the project last year at the end of the year, and it was called Let's Play the Music. I did a lot of creative things. I worked with a dude in France. Like,
sick.
She was popping, bro. It was nice. I was like, I need to drop something. I need to drop something. I need to drop something. And then I was like, I was feeling this angst of like, why am I so eager to drop something just to drop? And I was building up the content, writing, just like fine tuning who I am within the lyrics. And I'm like, man, there's no rush. You know what I'm saying? And I just had to take a time to be like, let me just stand back, calibrate, understand what I have in my artillery, like in terms of like, you know, instrumentals and stuff.
Yeah, like grow, come back to it with fresh eyes. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, if you just continue to stare at something, listen to it over and over again, you're just gonna like, your brain is just gonna be like, it's fine, and you know what I'm saying? And like, I want to sleep. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to do this anymore. Let's make it sound okay. And then when you go back and listen, you're just like, oh, what the fuck? This wasn't done. And it takes even longer.
Bro, so check this out. This is a little tangent. I was taking a walk with my dog. This whole podcast is a tangent. I was taking a walk with my dog.
This whole podcast is a tangent of a conversation we had 2 years ago.
I haven't had I didn't ask a single question I was gonna ask, so we're good. We have time.
I was walking in this. I'll show you this video too. Sorry for the viewers. I can't see the video, but
we can maybe splice it in.
Bro, no, actually, there's I'm sorry to keep that point in your head, brother. But so there's actually a joint. There's a joint on the app. There's kind of like a premium sort of thing that you can get where you can actually splice things in rather easily.
Sick.
And even then we can just, you know what I'm saying, we can get that edited. You know what I'm saying? The editor's he's a pretty cool guy.
Just hit play.
Hey, Mark, did you want a beer, man?
Me? Why not? Was you sure?
This is a beautiful dog.
So check this out. I was walking, and you see that painting?
Yeah.
That guy, I was just like, thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
I was just like, hey, I was just looking at him, just literally looking at this painting, and what happened? He just started talking to me, cool guy. Man, he just had a story to tell, man. I was just retaining it. He was like, I've been painting this for the past 2 years. He said he leaves, it comes back a couple months later, a couple days later, even weeks, a couple times like within that time frame, and just looks and says like, okay, I missed this, or I missed this, or I need to shift this. Man, but he made an analogy that kind of hit me. He was like, hey, like, I can always come back and make this better. There's always something better to make as an artist. That's the hard part, because it's like I can make this to some nth degree and then keep going further. But when does it stop? Should it stop?
I have an opinion on it too. But you finish the story.
Nah, but he was telling me this, and I was like, man, I wasn't gonna be like, yo, I'm an artist. I was just listening.
You're just being a person. Yeah, you're just being a person. Yeah,
human.
Yeah, it's weird when people like try to describe that. You know what I'm saying? They're just like, oh well, you know what I mean? I was talking to this person or whatever, or I did something kind of regular. Like it's like, yeah, you exist. You know what I'm saying? It's not extra weird. Yeah,
I should be.
Like I waited at the grocery store and all the machines were down, or like I had to wait in line, or like it's like, yeah, that's a part of it. It's not like an extraordinary thing, you know what I'm saying?
No, you're right.
But like, yeah, actually to that point too, like there's like a virtue in that story, just like, you know, like it's done when it's done. You know what I mean? Like only you can know when it's really done. Don't let people like rush you or different kind of pressures rush you. But also you have to kind of find the balance, because I know a lot of cats with fucking vault songs, you know what I'm saying? Way more vault songs than they have songs that are out and shit. And they let that like kind of perfectionist, or I can always add something. It's not quite done yet or whatever. They let that paralyze them, and they never drop and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Like I saw this one It was like this Russian filmmaker or whatever has been working on a film for like 40 years. Like legit, like, you know what I'm saying? Like he's like
that's the thing. I don't think anyone cares.
It's stop motion.
Oh,
it's like
okay.
So like it's one of those things where it's like
that's different. That's
it's like
different.
yeah, well okay. That doesn't really change. But it's just like he was like a well renowned, like he did like a few good films before that, but then he just like stopped and he started working on this one joint and it became like a famous story or whatever. But like you don't want to be that guy, you know what I mean? You don't want to not drop. Yeah, exactly. Like it's one of these like, oh bro, like if you drop like once, like every like 6 months or like 3 months or whatever, you're just like, yeah, like I'm starting not to care. You know what I mean? Like it sounds good, it sounds great, but like, yeah, bro, like you have to stay in people's face to a degree. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, but like finding that balance is important. Yeah,
that's why I think the self-awareness part is important with like the artistic journey, because it's like you don't want to force it, but you also like you want to be able to call yourself out when you bullshit, because sometimes you bullshit. Yep. So sometimes it's like, all right, we bullshit. We got it. Let's get on that shit. Let's post a little bit. Let's do this. Let's get this shit. Let's do something. But at the same time, it's like, you know what? My brain is elsewhere, and I think I need to let it be there for a little bit.
And I mean, that's self-awareness 101, man. I feel like if you don't have that level of it, or have anybody around you who's even that a level being aware, you can get stuck in this like cycle of nothingness to some extent. Yeah, you know what I mean. And
when you're in your own echo chamber, you're fucked.
Oh man, yeah, that's right. And I'm. It's pretty awesome that I've never been around like a lot of artists who are like in this region of progressing themselves as an artist, but not only as like a musician, but also like trying to be a better person. You know what I mean? I feel like when you're at that level, it's like. That's why I want to be around. You feel me?
Oh yeah, definitely. It's good when people like try to find a conduit to like improve their person. You know what I'm saying? Because it's just like, because I don't like the culture of this like that. You know what I'm saying? Like the overbearing like mental health culture kind of thing. It's just like well you have to go with the therapy and do this and this is whatever. It's like
I think it's someone made the point one time. I can't remember who it was. And I don't want to, wrongly attribute it to myself, but maybe I said it. Why is it so encouraged to tell people who are burnt out by institutions that the solution to their problem is another institution, another industrial complex?
Yeah, exactly.
Therapy is its own joint. You know what I mean?
It's a racket.
There's so many ways of therapy.
Generally speaking,
exactly.
If you are paying money to a particular person, the faster your problem gets solved, the sooner they stop getting paid. I'm not saying they're not going to help you solve your problem. I'm not saying that, but that's the
dynamic of the thing.
That is literally a formula you can see right in front of you.
You can't get away from the dynamic. But like but more of my point is just like I like it when people like do like, you know what I'm saying, find art, they find like religion or some other kind of faith, you know what I'm saying, they find something productive to do as opposed to
or they start a podcast.
Yeah, start a podcast.
Creative.
Something
creative.
Exactly, something creative as opposed to just like creating an institution behind it, or like
start a podcast. Come to Attic Studios.
Exactly, yeah, or just like creating like a culture behind it just for the sake of making it a culture. Like it's I don't know why it just seems lazy. You know what I mean? It's just like do something productive. Find value in work or whatever. Find value in like making the world better, making yourself better in the process. Because like any kind of process is gonna make you just a little bit better.
Exactly. I mean? No matter how often or how not often you do it, I feel like repetition is almost key. Like if I know, I mean, somebody told me this now. I mean, saying everybody's heard it. If you know better, do better, right?
Yeah.
If I know I can do better, if I don't do better, who the fuck? What am I doing? Yeah, what am I at least trying? Am I choosing to be complacent? Am I choosing to stay in the same place? Am I choosing to be?
Are you scared? Yeah.
Is there fear? And man, what? And that the whole cycle back to that self-realization and like understanding who I want to be and where I'm at is like even running it back to like you saying like I want to have a kid on this earth when I got it. You feel me? When you have the, you know what I'm saying?
When they can be supported in every way, shape, and form.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
You know, there's a level that you want to get to in order to be there, right? If you're not to some extent trying to get there, like you're not
you're
going
plateauing.
Anywhere. Exactly.
Yeah, it's just like what are you doing here? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
You don't like it's those kind of people where like they don't like being there. You know what I mean? There's like, oh well, my life is this, and this, and like. Yeah, you can figure that out. You can fix that. You know what I mean? Like, some people have a lot of extenuating circumstances, things like out of their control and shit. But like, still, there's ways you can figure it out. You know what I mean?
I've been looking at these like surrealist memes. They're just completely absurd, but they make me laugh. So like, I
know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah. And there's this one I saved in my phone. It wasn't even really like funny. It was literally like the Geico gecko going like this. You know how he'd be like this. It was the Geico gecko going like this, and then the caption was like on the screen was like, "You have the power to end these patterns." That was it.
Like shit. Yeah. Existential Twitter is wild.
Hey, bro.
That was Instagram, actually.
Oh, yeah, they probably got it from Twitter.
No,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's the
thing. The people on Twitter are taking all the fun drugs. That's why they're typing a lot and making stupid threads. Instagram, they're just posting something.
Are you going to continue to put only 15% effort in your life?
You know what I mean?
Straight up.
Like that fucking guy when you would like when you would get a snow day and you would watch the Maury show. And then, you know, it'd be that guy's like, why are you making it so hard? It's easy. Go back to school.
What was that institution? Oh my gosh.
Like ATT Tech or something like that.
Oh my
ITT
God.
Tech.
I was like, bro, yo, we got information technology, medical billing and coding. You know what I'm saying?
Let me ask you.
And business administration.
But sir,
why are you making it hard?
But sir,
it's easy.
But sir, let me ask you an easy question though. If I go get this degree from this institution and I go try to get a job, are they gonna laugh me out of the room with this degree?
Not necessarily.
They are.
Not necessarily.
Back then they were.
Not necessarily.
I think so.
It's basically just a community college. Niggas go to community college and get work.
Yeah, but ITT Tech, son, you're just like from the commercial. No, I may give you the job because I need the position filled, but I'm just like, come on.
That's the thing.
You're expendable.
The University of Maryland run commercials. Everybody run commercials. It's advertising.
Yeah,
but there's not a brother just yelling at you and shit.
Yeah, bro,
that's what you need sometimes.
Very targeted audience from a white institution.
This is the thing. Listen to what I just said. I was a child home from school on a snow day or like a school holiday.
You're watching cable. I was watching scenes from movies my dad covered my eyes for.
Shit.
I was that guy.
We were both jerking off. I'll tell you that. Anyway, you know what I'm saying. But yeah, I'm watching this because I'm home from school.
Yeah.
Think about who this ad is targeted toward. They needed a brother yelling at them. Nigga, you watching the Maury show? That shit come on. That shit come on at one.
That's a good point.
That shit come on at 1 in the afternoon on a Tuesday.
That's a good point.
You ain't getting no paper. You watching somebody talking about they ain't not the father.
It's easy, man.
What if he's night shift? A lot of brothers on night shift. You don't know that. What if he drives truck?
Man, go read a fucking book. Go read some John Henry Clark. You know what I'm saying?
I was
watching the Maury show, man.
I was staring at pavement going 70 miles an hour for 3 days. Hey, I'm gonna sit down and watch some fucking Maury.
Hey, you know what?
Your book.
Hey, you know what? Fair enough. Get you some Pizza Hut. Back when they still had the Eden.
When it was good.
Remember Eden Pizza Hut? That's when that shit was coming on, man.
It was a weirdly good ambiance. But you were kind of like bringing up group dynamics too, like a little bit before, like people kind of keeping you in check.
Yeah, man.
Like, first of all, is Wave Watchers like a group? Because I was kind of confused about that dynamic. You know what I'm saying?
Is it an event? Man. Is that a brand name? Is it a beautiful wristband? What else is it? Is it a curated box of snacks like on BoJack Horseman? What is it?
It's all the above. I'll be honest with you. Kalechi is
so there is a curated box of snacks. He said that
there is, and we have it in the back. Just low key, just to let you know. But Kalechi, he's like the mastermind behind it. GTD, like he had this vision of like creating and curating this of events and having artists to come perform. Artists from many different, from painters to musicians to whatever. He wanted everybody to be in this one environment, and then he actually did a good job of curating a team. And I was part of that team. It was like me and 4 people. And
the hardest part, honestly.
The hardest part was planning every single aspect is and it's not even just planning, like the people around to do the planning. Like we held ourselves to like a very high degree of,
because that show was fantastic.
We put in endless hours to make sure it was on point.
There is not like one thing wrong with it, really.
Venue was great. You know what I mean?
You know how good it was?
Shout out to the Hibatians that were on the street that day.
Oh my Christ.
Straight up, man.
Looking beautiful.
You know why it was such a good event too? Like, we sat down and talked to the security guard for a little while. We watched his little, like, his slam poetry joint, which was fine.
Stefan, that's my boy.
You know what I'm saying? And like, he still made us drink our beer down there. He wouldn't let us bring it up. You know what I mean? Good event.
Fucking
solid
pro.
security.
Well, I was like, wow, it was, you know, to meet a human and also a professional.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, you're a human, but you're a pro. Hey, you ain't going up there.
He was like, like, you can sit there and drink them right here, bro. You know what I'm saying? Then like, we just got to talking and shit.
Fair enough.
I tried to press him too. Then it was just like he got serious. I was like, oh no, I'm not gonna convince him.
that man, he's a good man. He's a bouncer too. He bounces like a couple different places in DC.
It's like he said his brother was performing or whatever. Like, which one was it?
Oh, word, that's your brother? It's not my brother, but he's my brother. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I feel that. But yeah. Continue to talk about more. Like, how did you get like linked up with like Kelechi and them? You know what I'm saying? Like, what made him pick you over like other people type shit?
That's a good question, man. So he went to Springbrook High School. He was like,
yo, I remember we had a streaker at Springbrook at the football game like my junior year. Son.
Really?
He made it too. He made it around the last speaker at Springbrook.
A speaker?
No, a streaker.
Oh, yeah, dude.
You know, he made it, bro. He made it too. He got to the middle of the field. He wasn't naked. He had a shirt. He had pants on.
Okay.
But like,
he was a coward. You were drunk.
He was moving. Bro,
he ran 5'5".
He was moving. Bro, he was moving. What's it called? Somebody tried to get him on foot. He dusted cuz. They tried to get him on a cart. He like seen it was coming, hit feet to such an extent he went uphill real quick and then like disappeared in the forest.
Oh yeah.
The crowd gave him a standing ovation.
Shout out to that streaker, bro.
Had to, bro. If you make it, it's great. If you get caught, you're just like,
if you get caught,
the crowd's gonna be like,
if you get caught, because we're not gonna help you. We're not gonna help you out of this mess.
If you get caught streaking, you a sad pervert, man.
Yeah,
you a pervert.
The next week for you, going no good.
You a pest. Motherfuckers that ain't never been to that school gonna find out about that bullshit.
Right. Y'all didn't go to Springbrook, did you?
No, I went to Gettysburg.
Gotcha.
Yeah, Gettysburg.
That shit around the corner from here too. That's funny.
So Kelechi actually knew my younger brother. He knew my like middle brother. He used to wrestle with him.
Okay.
So I knew him for a minute. You know what I'm saying? So like, me and Kelechi linked up like a while, like a year ago. And he was actually on my past project, and he just kept like sending me. That man has a really good work ethic. You know what I'm saying? Like, but like I'll consider him to some extent in that same category and vein of like having like 20,000 tracks, but not wanting to release them.
Oh, he makes music?
Yeah, he makes music.
Yeah, again, wouldn't have known.
You feel me?
Yeah.
And it's like there's levels of like, all right, like this is my craft and this is what I should own. Whole different conversation. But he was like, yo, like he sent me tracks and I'm like, all right, I can match that energy. I match that energy. Made a track, made another track, made another track. Made like 5 tracks. And I was like, we gotta release one of these bitches, you know what I'm saying?
Like, cool, like, come on.
Release one of these Jones. But he at the end of the day was like, yo, he gave me his vision. He's like, I'm trying to do this event. And I'm like, bro, you can do this event.
Yeah.
Like I'm here to be like, yo, you can do it. What do you need?
Type shit, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We got my boy Tate the Bay on DJ mix, killed it. And Yebby also helped as well. We just planned, scheduled it. We have this amount of time. We need to get a venue here. We need to get these vendors. We need to get these people. We need to get this lineup. We had a whole schedule set up. We had meetings like
that's great
twice a week. You know what I'm saying? We were on it, and it came together so well because of the fact that we were so sharp beginning to end. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And not like even matching that. I was like, bro, like that put a lot of effort. We put a lot of effort in. You know what I'm saying? It's like so we're doing the next one. It's like, you know, it's coming hard because we're all still in that same mind frame of like, all right. This is an environment that artists can thrive.
And we saw what worked already.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
The formula's already there.
Exactly. Because you know what I mean? you guys were Wave Watchers, the first one, the volume 1.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah.
So the second one, you could tell the difference between the magnitude of like the capacity of people we wanted there.
Yeah, because you got that feeling too. You want to like step it up a little bit too.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's one of those things you don't want to plateau, and you definitely don't want to fucking have a stinker. You know what I'm saying? Like we're after a great show, you just have a shit one. It's just like, ugh. I'm flipping a coin to go to the third one.
That's the thing. The stakes are rising now because we're at the point as a scene where, at this point, Tommy, before you leave the room, do you agree or disagree? At this point, having a stinker is kind of unacceptable.
Yep.
Even if it's lackluster, even if it's ho hum, if it's like even if you come home, you're like, yeah, it was straight. Like sometimes my man's will go to the show. He's like, oh, how's the show? Like, yeah, it was straight. You know, it's cool.
It's one
stinker. No, son.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's just like. Having an average show is like pretty.
It's par for the course.
Pretty easy, you know, and it's pretty easy too. Like having a stinker is hard.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying, especially in like in a developing scene too, because like people like we know the deal right now. We know the lay of the land. So it's like, yeah, we're not popping right now. We're not like rich. We're doing what we can. It's very like punk DIY and shit like that. But it's just like. To have a bad show, my nigga, is just like, yeah, like your friends are here. You piss them off. You know what I'm saying? Like,
straight up.
Yeah, it's like, how did your friends not have a good time?
Among the pioneers, the revenue is kind of already moving between camps.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
From here to High Life to, because it's like, from here to High Life to Wave Watchers to, you know what I mean, to RDI, None of a Kind, you know, shout out all the good
The creatives are here.
Yeah, shout out all the good man. We already know what it is.
You know what I mean? And
that's already coming.
The foundation's set. At this point, it's just the development of creativity to continue to rise. And that's
where do we go from here? Are we gonna get our revenue model straight? Because because if we're just breaking even, we're not gonna be able to do this for long. So we have to step it up and see what's going on. But at the same time, if we're just sucking money out of people and they don't have a way to, you know, to receive value from what they're giving value to, well, damn, we constantly have to grow instead of nurturing what we got. We can't nurture, we have to grow, and that's not always a good thing. You know what I'm saying? You got to consolidate sometimes, I feel.
No, I agree. I mean, bro, like thinking of it was like a money perspective too, like in terms of revenue, even as an artist, there is money that has to be put in as an artist to go to studio time, to go to artwork, to go to visuals, to go to videos, to go to animations, to go to this and that. Like, it's a lot of effort that has to be going in, like in terms of the creativity. And when it comes back to you in creative ways, merchandise, see whatever. When it comes back,
crypto.
There's so many ways to leverage that. To make that offset not even nil, but like increase over time. And once you do it once, that's the easiest. That's the hardest part, doing it once. If you can do something once, you can replicate it out 100 times if you wanted to. Straight up. It's all about how much effort you're actually putting in. And if you know the effort you're putting in to get this level, and you know that if you put in more effort you can get this level, I mean, why not? You feel me? Like, well, if I know I just did a banger, why not put my effort in to do something better than that? Yeah. If not at that same level, you know what I'm saying? Like, why not? I mean, I don't know how much time you got on this earth. I don't know how much time. Everybody has their own time on this earth, and that's it. I don't know if it's 40 years. I don't know if it's 28. I don't know. But at the same point in time,
I'm gonna hit triple digits. I'm gonna hit low triple digits.
My grandma just died. She was like 98. So I think I can get triple digits for sure. You feel me?
It's what you see those things too. It's just like, yeah, you didn't have great medicine either. You know what I'm saying? You lasted so long.
You just ate okay. You just ate natural food and worked hard.
Yeah, exactly. Like, yeah, it's one of those things. It's like, yeah, it's like, oh well, so and so smoked 3 packs a day and drank whiskey, like a bottle of whiskey a night and shit. It's like, yeah, like he was a coal worker, you know what I'm saying? Like, not like he was a dock worker, my nigga. He was moving miles a day with like tons on his back.
Bro, there's some politician that just died. He was like one of the guys who denied the effects of cigarettes as far as cancer. He lived to be 98.
Bro.
Yeah, it's like one of those things. It's just like, one won't hurt. You know what I mean? If I ever smoke a pack, I have to stop. But like, it's like if I have 1 or 2 at a party. or if they're around. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, fuck. But it's funny. We're like this deep in the interview when I'm gonna ask, but like we don't know you much. You know what I mean? Like, take us a little bit back to like the origin story about like how'd you start making music? What kind of inspired you? You know what I mean? Stuff like that.
Yeah, man. So from the jump, man. They call me MarkTheKeep. My coach.
It's a cool and an easy name to look up, and I respect that heavy.
It's simple. It's not
so it's like it's not normal. It's not an average name. So it's like bet. Like as soon as you look it up, it's there. Mm-hmm. But yeah, tell me all about it.
My coach, like back in high school, because I played lacrosse and I played soccer and I played like around track. My coach in high school, he was like, because I started playing goalie, and then he literally gave me the name. He was like, MarkTheKeep, and I was like. Okay, I was like, hold on, that sounds a little interesting. Yeah. And then it's set, and everybody kept calling me MarkTheKeep. I took that throughout high school, took it throughout college, and I'm like, this is almost my identity. You know what I'm saying? Like, definitely. It's like some people didn't even know like my name.
A lot of people don't know my actual name. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
And it
ain't Tommy.
That's what I thought too, though.
Yeah, it's like that can't be a name. That can't be a name.
And it's crazy because like I mean, that was the easy part of getting that like alter ego. Not even alter.
It happened naturally.
It happened naturally. You know it wasn't forced. It wasn't like I was putting my name in a generator and being like, oh, what can we get here today?
That's so cringe. You feel me? It's just giving yourself a nickname. You know what I mean? It's just like
it just doesn't feel right, man.
Like, bro, you're not known for anything in your friend group. You know what I'm saying? Like
Speedy.
Yeah, you don't have any like fun,
Skippy, Swift,
Slick, fun stories or like fun little skills that your friends like affectionately called you. They just were serious the entire time.
Scooter. You know what I'm saying?
You don't have real friends.
Rambo.
If they don't give you a nickname or call you by the name you prefer, it's like those aren't your friends. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But fuck it again, Davion. Give me the name. Give me my name.
I don't call anybody by their real name.
I try my damnedest.
In the scene, I as soon as I learn your joint, I'm not calling you by your name. That's not to say I don't know it. Sometimes I don't. But I'm
Bingo. I know Bingo for a while, and I know.
I've known him like. Damn, like 10 years.
Yeah, it's been damn near a decade and shit. It's like, I've called him his real name for like most of that time, and it's just like, no, I'm never calling him that again.
Yeah, like 7-8 years.
You're not that guy anymore. You're not that person anymore.
I'm telling you, man. As soon as I got that name, like, it set the tone. And then after that, man,
I'm only calling you MTK from now on,
bruh. And then somebody, and then in college, my coach said, yo, he just said MTK, like he just shortened it, and I was like. That's hard as shit. Like what? Like where you coaches getting these shit from? Like
type shit, yeah.
I was like,
coaches got time on their hands.
Not straight up, man.
They just do that.
Just watching the film and making names.
If you just know the sport, it's just like, coaching is easy as shit.
Nah, straight up, honestly. And that's why I'm a coach.
Where you coach?
Yeah. I coach this club lacrosse team. Oh, nice. It's in Gators. It's like not too far away from here, to be honest. You know Judith Resnick, that elementary school.
I went to that school.
You're joking.
And I wander around in them forests, when I'm doing my thing in the springtime.
Are you joking?
No.
I spent at least. I'm being dead.
I went to the school for like Head Start. I didn't go there that long. I
can say confidently that I spent about 200 hours at that high school this whole year. Maybe more, because that's where we coach. Like that's where we 2 hours every Sunday. That's where we were. You feel me? Like that's
bro. You wait during the summer of this year?
Yes,
bro. I was in during the summer of last year as well.
Yes, bro. For the past like 2 years,
bro. I was at Hadley Farms, literally like just fucking smoking J's, reading books. The occasional shroom. You know what I mean?
You probably saw, bruh.
We might have seen each other. We had just started the pod. Bruh, no car at the time, son. Had to get the shit fixed. Son. Life funny like that.
It's crazy, man.
Yeah, it's funny. I got so used to scooping you and shit like that. When you got your whip back, I was just like, I'm not like ready for the pod anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like this was like sometimes I wouldn't leave the crib because it was like during COVID. Like we started like doing the pod heavy like during COVID. It's like I didn't have work. Like you know what I'm saying? Like I didn't leave house like a lot. You know what I'm saying? I was like, we're doing this, but like I have no reason. I'm not a going out like honestly like for like real networking purposes, or I'm like super bored, or someone invites me type shit. I'm not gonna go out by my own.
Bro, that's the thing. My whole
social battery is just like a fucking like
social battery is a real thing.
Yeah,
but my whole thing is shifted. Like I only like creative events now. I only like creative events, museums, restaurants or like quirky things that are happening that are just around the way. I don't like, you know what I'm saying? The club is a terrible place.
I've transitioned from going out to like bars and clubs to like just writing. I like, you know what I'm saying? If it's somebody's birthday, it's maybe in my priority list of like 7, 6. Depends. Like if they're like, I'd rather just like hang out with my dog, hang out with my girl, and just kick it. You know what I'm saying? Or even just write. There's so much creative things you can do aside from like going out and
like
very
fun things. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly,
it's like, bro, like it's not like one of those like teetotaling things. Like, oh, you don't have to drink or do drugs to have fun, but it's just like because I can't. But like, yeah, like I do it at the house. You know what I'm
I was sober at the joint and I had a good time.
I'm trying to tell you, man.
I was sober,
I did that on purpose too, low key. I was like, man, I can't. I was like, no alcohol, no nothing. I just want to be in this environment of like, let's just listen to this content at a level where everybody's coherent. You feel me? I wanted that because like it sits with you well. And not saying like you had like a couple of beers and want to sit with you well, you feel me? Like,
oh yeah, definitely.
But at the same time, I was like, just because of the concept of the project, I was like, let me just keep it as pure as possible.
Oh yeah, and those reasons I respect. You know what I'm saying? It's like I feel like a lot of like just like people who don't, you know what I'm saying? It's for a lot of just like better than you reasons. You know what I'm saying? It seems very high horse. You know what I'm saying? Like I like if you say like if I offer you something like you say no, you know what I'm saying? I was like, oh fine, I'm not.
That's the end of it for me.
Yeah, I'm not gonna offer you again. I'm not like a peer pressure kind of person, but it's just like sometimes it just gives the feeling just like it's like man. I bet you rant a lot. What is that?
That's a thing that's a thing I put on my keys so that I will always be able to find them.
Bruh,
it's never been an issue.
I lost a phone the other day, like 2 days ago, and that shit is dead.
Yeah,
I don't know if I'm ever gonna find it. You can
either use the keys to find your phone or your phone to find your keys. It's dope. You know what I mean? It was a gift from my mother. Not a birthday gift. We don't do those anymore. But a gift.
If it gets like a certain distance, does it beep?
I have not tested it out in that capacity. Luckily, I did not pay for it. You know what I mean?
I was gonna say like at a certain point it's useless because it's like if it's a few miles and it's just like it needs to be at least 10.
I mean that's the thing. You just get I mean the general rule is keep your shit on you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
yeah, like there's never been an issue. You know what I'm saying? Like it used to blow me. You know what I'm saying? Like when I get a text like, hey, did I leave this here or whatever? Nigga, when we had to go to Baltimore and shit to get your shit, I was like,
yeah.
I maybe lost like I lost an iPod Touch once.
We should have done a car podcast that day. We had a good conversation in the car. We took the back roads.
The only way I'm going to Baltimore ever again. Highways are not fun.
Nah, it's that 295 going up to Baltimore. That's not it, bro.
Not it, bro. And it's like, bro, like the back roads are like 20 minutes longer. It's not even that bad. You know what I'm saying? But like, not yet. But yeah, continue the origin story. You're in college at this point.
Yeah, man.
You shortened the name.
I was writing a lot, and I was in this program, bro. And this is. Let me tell you this story. It's a cool story. Okay. I was in charge of this program, and it was called Nova Edge, and it stood for like Villanova Engineering Diversity and Inclusion Group, right? And it was these students, minority students from like all around the country going to this, like who get accepted to go to this 1 week program that I was like in charge of.
I'll bet. Fuck it,
bruh. There was this one. All these kids were like very spectacular and had different interests and blah blah blah. There's this one kid. Her name was Yasan, and these are all high school kids. And then like she was just like very pure hearted, very like assertive, very awesome person. And I'm like, you could feel her energy. And she like out of nowhere like started singing one time, and I was like, get the fuck out of here! Like
it's like, oh,
is this real? Like,
you talented bitch.
Like I was struck. I was like,
yeah,
this isn't real. And she was singing, and I was like, bro, like you singing, like, dang, go ahead, you feel me? I was like, well done, bro. I remember because I was monitoring, like we're in this dorm, and I'm like walking around, make sure everybody's, you know what I'm saying, either eating snacks, watching movies, no funny business, you know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
Just make sure everybody's straight. And I see her in the corner, just like writing, and I'm like, what you writing? And she's like, I can't. I'm like, what you riding? Like, you know what I'm saying? I can ask you because I run this camp. Like, what you riding?
This could count as horseplay. You know what I'm saying? I can report you.
Tell me what you're riding, I'm calling your parents.
Right? Exactly. I'm straight up.
But you're out of here in a month. You're out of here tomorrow.
It's really funny to think about that. Like, to be now out of the kid phase and now approaching the phase where it's more likely that you'd be the person getting called. It's like, my reaction would be like, why the fuck are you calling me? If there's not blood on the floor, you know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%. I wouldn't do that. She was like, her parents are awesome too. Like she was just an awesome person. And I was like, what are you writing? She's like,
she'd be like, sweetie, please listen to your counselor. Mark knows what's best for you.
So check this out. Her dad is Jamaican and her mom is black and Asian. So she's like this, like
she's a crazy mix them up.
Right? Can you even just
crazy mix them up,
bro? She honestly, like, she was like, let me sing it for you, and then she was singing it for me. And I was like, oh, let me hop on this, because we were doing like a talent show at the end of the program. It was like 30 kids. I'm like, let me hop on this. She said, all right. So I put the recording on my phone. She put the instrumental up. She started singing, and I'm just like literally just freestyling. And then it's like very slow, like maybe 60 BPMs. You feel me? Really slow. Okay. And I'm like feeling it. And at the end, I'm like, I think I got it. The next day, I wrote some, showed her. She's like, okay, cool. We recorded it that night. I told like one of my boys, I was like, yo, bring my microphone to this freaking dorm, like right now. We got
before I kill you.
Mark,
right
we're at
now.
the club.
Before I fucking murder you.
Mark, we're about to close the deal with these bros.
Shut up.
Bro, he brought the microphone.
I'm sorry, everybody. Put the condoms away. This cannot wait.
Nah.